Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So this is the fifth materials. Actually, this is the introductions for material selection and development, because next semester you are going to study specific courses related to material development, CMD, curriculum and material development. All right. Language teaching need consideration when teacher selects materials. So what are the difference between materials and source? Here we go. All right, these pictures are the examples of sources for classroom materials. Teacher can be sources because teacher is a research. When you remember one of the role of teacher from Jeremy Harmer, he mentioned that teacher become a resource of the knowledge or the material itself. The second, it can be book, radio or television, environment, community, computer, internet. Peer, and then students, tape recorders. This quite conventional sources, I think. But today we can get everything from internet, isn't it? Alright, so materials for language teaching can be derived from textbook, from journal, encyclopedia, or student's book itself. So many institutions or even government has already provided students book so that it makes teacher easy to get materials. But as an English teacher, as a good teacher, selecting appropriate materials is a must. That's why there will be some term regarded to selecting and developing materials. It can be adopting, it can be adapting, or even the teacher develops the materials for the class, for the students. So as I said before, as a teacher, what would you do with the material existing? Will you use the existing materials without any consideration that whether the materials appropriate for the students, does it fit the students' need? Does it meet a student's level of English proficiency? Okay. Or the second, would you develop your own materials because the institutions or the government has already provided the syllabus for you? Means there is a guidance, right? So both of these kinds of strategy need some considerations. There are some factors, whether you are going to use the existing materials or whether the teacher develop the materials by himself. Alright, these are the strategies in selecting materials. Okay. Before the teacher decide to use what materials for the student, the teacher must see the strengths and the weaknesses of the materials. Then how to select the students' materials? The materials meet the needs of the learner, interests of the learner. So learner is the main consideration here. Wants of the learners or encourage of the learners. In adopting materials, there are two main factors. The first is external factor and the second is internal factors. external factor related to like students' level of proficiency, students' age, as we discussed last time, the characteristic of learners, and then the student psychology, and then the classroom or students resource itself, whether there are enough facilities for the students to learn. Those are the example of external factors. How about internal factor? Internal factor related to the materials itself. It comes from the materials. I mean, if there is an existing materials, you have to see, as I told you before, the strengths and the weaknesses of the materials. What are the materials about? And then, is the language appropriate for my students? Is the language easy to understand? And does it fit with the syllabus? Okay, so those external and internal factor must meet so that it can fulfill the students' necessity in English language learning. There must be some problems in selecting materials. To choose or select material for whole class use is not easy. One factor that affects an EFL class is the instructional resources which can be chosen by teacher. Another problem is that how to enhance quality learning in a diverse learner with or without technology. Material development is how, as I told you before, it can be adopting, developing, or adapting. Adopting material, deciding the kinds of material that are needed, evaluating the material, and putting them to use. Here, selecting is a minimum. So, most materials are adopted from one sources. So, adopting means gaining from the material itself. It can be 100%, it's okay, or it can be 90%. How about developing? Developing can be done if all efforts to adopt material for purpose of teaching the objective fail to uncover suitable materials, right? So sometimes, if the materials or if the student does not have a textbook for the students himself, so it is the task for the teacher to develop the materials himself. There are some steps in developing materials, so it must meet the theory of material development, meets the syllabus, and then it has been validated by the expert, or even it must be tested. I mean, tried out before it is applied to the students. Alright, the third is adapting. Collections of material can be evaluated or analyzed. Then a decision must be made as to which sets of material will be adapted. We have already known that out there materials can be it is abundance. I think hundreds English materials, because today technology cannot lie anymore, from YouTube, from internet, from web. So it is quite easy to get materials, but the main important is that we have to adapt it well. Okay, I think I'm going to miss this one. Okay. So what kinds of appropriate materials? Appropriate materials when you develop, or when you adapt it, it must be easy to create, easy to offer, easy to access. All of them can be reusable. Yeah, reusable means it must be that. Okay, thank you so much.